Okay, I think I'm
Hey,
here. Can
Brett,
you guys
yeah?
hear me?
Can everyone hear Brett? Give me a yes. Ray, Meeks, Samir. Yes, yes, I can hear you, Brett.
Perfect. Okay, just need to make me a presenter and I'll show my screen. I just barely finished working on this particular thing, so hopefully it all goes well. But it's one of these
Okay.
really cool features, really cool things that we've had many of you request from us. So I really love when I am able to put something in there that you guys really need. So let me share my screen.
Brett, I'm gonna mute out. Brett, I'm showing them the AI mission control dashboard. So that's where I stopped.
Okay,
I'm gonna
let me
you,
change my,
can you,
hold on.
Brett, when I do these replays, I get a lot of feedback that your browser isn't big enough.
Yeah, I'm trying
Yeah,
to
so
fix that right now.
that'd be great if you could just zoom in and then also the aspect ratio. Um, if you could, yeah. All right. Is that good? Big enough for everyone? Yeah. Okay. All right, Brett, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, perfect. All right, so what we've done is, well, let me just jump into this. Many of you run native ads and listicles and e-commerce stuff. We've all seen the listicles. Those are those pages that say, 20 products that you have to see and et cetera, et cetera. So many of you run those kind of pages because they work really, really well. Especially on traffic sources like Pinterest and Facebook and things like that. So one of the problems that we've had, though, or that many of you have had, is getting these kind of pages approved on native ads sources. So, or on any traffic source really, because the traffic sources are kind of cracking down on these kind of pages because a lot of marketers use kind of just a single page. It's not really a website, and a lot of these uh, traffic sources really don't like that anymore. So a request that we had was, would it be possible in LanderBolt to kind of, instead of just building a landing page, like a one page, would it be possible to build and edit a full website, kind of like you would do with WordPress, almost, kind of like a full website with multiple pages? And we found a pretty good solution here to that. And let me just show it to you. So I'm gonna just kind of show it off and then I'll explain it as I go. So I'm gonna start from the LanderBolt's dashboard here. We just have a bunch of pages. I put a new template to showcase this feature. I've put a new template into our template section. So when you go to templates now, it says showing all templates at the top. Just gonna click that drop down and choose content sites. So it's actually like a full website. When I click on content sites, it'll just filter the template list. You don't even really have to do that. You can just scroll down and it's right there. But we have this tech blog content site, and I have more of these on the way. I just barely finished this one, so just gonna show it to you. This is actually going to be like a full website where you can modify all the different pages of the website, and this will help you get approved on native ads sources and even on Facebook and Pinterest and wherever else you're doing your advertising or your media buying. So let me just show you. If I click on select template, I'm just going to jump into it. I'm going to say new tech blog, make whatever name I want. I'm actually not going to put it on a domain quite yet. A lot of people don't know this, but you don't actually have to put your pages online right away in LanderBolt. You can actually save that for later. So I'm going to edit the page first, and then I'll make it live. But so we have new tech blog, create page. That was nice and fast, created page successfully. So I'm just going to jump first into our file the file manager. I'm going to go into our file manager to show you what this page looks like from just a file standpoint. So we have all of our different folders you're used to seeing with pages. We have the index.html, that's the actual page. And then we have these other ones like gadgets, finance, contact, relationships. We have these other HTML things. And this is previously what you used to not be able to edit with LanderBolt. So let me just show you how this works now. If I go to the page editor, you'll see that it's going to load up this content site. It's actually a pretty good looking site. It says tech blog, and just like with all of the other pages in LanderBolt, you can edit any part of it that you want. I can replace these images by double clicking and doing the image thing. I can change text, I can change links, anything I need to do in this page. This is a template, and it's a really good looking one actually. So you could put your own images in here. You could run some Google AdSense or advertising over here in the sidebar. Do whatever I want. But we have this menu at the top, and the menu has gadgets, health, relationships, finance, and those should sound familiar to you because those were those different files that we had. So the new feature is with the page editor, which I'm in right now, to actually access those other parts of the website, to edit those parts, we have this new drop down at the top. It says currently editing up here at the top. And I can click this drop down and it shows me all of the HTML files for my site. So it actually filters out all the other files so it doesn't confuse you. It's quite easy. You just see, okay, health, gadgets, finance, contacts. So this gadgets page right here, we have a menu item for gadgets. If I want to edit that page, I can click the drop down, go to gadgets, and there we go. It takes me to a listicle, 17 insanely cool gadgets you've probably never heard about. And this is the template. Many of you have probably seen similar templates to this, but it's a template for listicles. So I can list out 17 different gadgets on here and put my buttons and links where I need them and everything like that. And then I can go over to health. And actually what I've done is listicles convert very, very well in every category, not just gadgets. So even like with health and dating type products, with relationship stuff, listicles really, really convert well. So all these other pages like gadgets, health, relationships, they're actually in this template anyway, they're just duplicates of the gadget page. And it'd be really, really easy with our page editor. I did this on purpose to show you how easy it is with the page editor. We're on the relationships thing, or I can go to health. The easy thing here is I can just change this headline now to be like 20 awesome health tips you need to know, or something. That's probably a terrible headline, but you get the idea. You can put a health related headline in here because we're on the health page now. You can see at the top. Then I can put a health image there, and I can actually fill this up with health-related offers and products now very, very easily, because all you have to do is change the image, change the text, and change the button. It's extremely easy to do. You don't really even have to do much else than that. So you can now have one for health, and then you can do the same thing for relationships. Jump into relationships. You can change this headline to something about dating or relationship related, etc.
Brett, let me interrupt you.
Yep.
I just realized that what you did here, and understand, guys, Brett was coding this in the last 10 minutes. That's how new this is. This is like WordPress, ClickFunnels, lead pages, Instapage, all in one, but lightweight, fast, not clunky. I'm blown away. Like I can't even, I mean, and then the fact that you can actually go back in the file manager and have an FTP online and not be locked into, that's just incredible. And not be locked into these things like these other page builders that previously have been the only option unless you want to, have your own tech setup and you have a developer. Now anyone can use a WordPress-like page and not have to have WordPress.
Yeah, and if I show you, I'm just going to do a quick example here. If I could get this window to do what I wanted to do. Hold on. I have in the file manager here, I can actually upload another one. So we have like relationships and health and all that. let's say I had like another category besides, let's do careers or something. And I'll show you here, we have our files. Let's say that I want to put another file in here and then be able to edit that using the page editor. I can just do this upload thing. So for those of you who haven't seen our file manager, it's quite powerful. I can just hit this upload button and I can now upload more files to my landing page. So this came from a template, right? But I can actually just add more files to it if I want. So I'm going to do this choose file, and I have this, I actually already have the files for the template right here because I was working on them, but I'm going to pick this careers one because we don't have that as a HTML file in here yet. But let's say I want to add that category to my site. I can click on careers, hit open, upload. And it should upload this file, and it shows up in here now. It's kind of hidden by my, there we go, careers down at the bottom there. And now when I go to the page editor, I can easily click this drop down and see careers. So now I can actually edit that file. It's actually still a duplicate because it's the one I was working on previously. But again, I can just change this headline to be something career related, or whatever kind of offer you're running. It doesn't really matter. And then you can easily modify the header up here to just add that link to that other file. So it's really allows you to go in, and this is a request we've had from you guys, which is why I'm so excited about it. Because again, I love when you guys give us suggestions for what you're doing in your campaigns and what's making you profit the most on your campaigns, and then I can assist by putting the features you need in here. So this one should definitely help quite a few of you. And just to be clear, it's not limited to just this one template that I'm showing you. This came from our templates section, again, because I wanted to give you guys a head start if you want to make a content site. But if you have your own site that you want to import using our zip file importer, so let's say you have your own HTML page that you've had made by one of your developers, or you downloaded it somewhere on the internet or something like that, you can still use this file uploader, and the page editor will just allow you to select which HTML files to edit in that page. And one more important thing on this, one more reason why this is so important, especially if you are running listicles on any traffic source really, but mainly social traffic sources and native traffic sources, they really, really want to see that you have an actual website. If you just put up only a listicle, so if I had this gadgets page and I only had this page and I didn't have this header up here, I didn't have, if I go down, I had this nice looking footer down here. If I didn't have this stuff, it's quite easy to get rejected and get your ads banned and rejected because they want to see that you actually have a website. They don't want just some kind of, crappy landing page with nowhere to go on it. They've started to crack down on that. So this is actually the reason why we've been asked to make a feature like this, is because it's becoming more and more necessary to make content style pages that have multiple links in them and go to other things. And they really want to see the contact. So I've deliberately added that to the template. So we have this contact us link, which defaults to this contact page where you can provide who you are, what your page is doing, and some contact info. Because if you don't have this contact info, you'll get rejected most likely when you submit ads to your traffic sources. And again, these are all really easy, like the links in here are really easy to change in our editor. Like, if I want to change where all these Facebook links and things go to, I can just double click on them and I can select like a URL and send it wherever I want, like to my Facebook page. So with our editor, everything is extremely easy to modify in these templates. And this template actually is also mobile responsive, which a lot of you ask for all the time. So let's go back to the gadgets. So we have the full menu up here. It looks like this. If I go down to a tablet size, we get this kind of thing, and the menu collapses down into the little thing here, shrinks down the page a little bit. And if I jump all the way down to mobile sized, then still looks good. So pretty much just a content site, and we'll have more on the way, not just this tech blog, but I'll be adding more to the template section to try and help you guys run these listicles and these sites a lot better without getting rejected by your traffic sources. So that's kind of what I've just added in the last 20, 30 minutes. I've been working on it for longer than that, obviously, but I just finished it in the last 20, 30 minutes. So just wanted to jump on and interrupt Jordan for a minute to show you what we've done.
Brett, this is really brilliant because this is essentially this is the best parts of WordPress, ClickFunnels, lead pages, Wix, and so any page editor out there that you've been using, page builder, page hoster, you can now use LanderBolt to run on native ads and edit, basically take control of your page. You're really a slave to ClickFunnels, essentially, right, Brett? You can't access your files. You can't. You can't even downloading your pages. They make that hard for you. And this is more about freedom and flexibility and higher profits. Is that correct?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's with ClickFunnels and those other things, and actually even previously with LanderBolt, it's just a single page, right? So most, even with our other templates, like, you know, our other pages in here, they're single pages. They don't have like a header at the top with a bunch of links or anything like that, because they're just landing pages, like one page. But again, it gives you flexibility because, like I said, a lot of traffic sources now in a lot of areas want to see a full like blog style content site. And previously, the only way to do this kind of thing would be like with WordPress, or if you coded one yourself and just hosted it, or I'm sure there's many other tools out there, but most of them are quite large. They take a while to install. They're hard to use in some cases. I don't know how many of you have used WordPress extensively, but I wouldn't say that it's difficult to use, but it's definitely, I like to call it bloated. There's a lot going on with WordPress sites and things like that. So I just wanted to add in the ability to do a similar thing, to have nice content sites with a full menu at the top and everything like that, but have it still be stick to kind of the LanderBolt principle, which is really fast pages, really easy to edit, spend no time getting it set up. You know, don't worry about plugins to make it faster or caching or anything like that, because we, you know, already handles all that. So I just wanted a really simple way to make a good looking site. I know Jordan likes to call them pretty sites. Like we want to be adding more of these sites that actually look like real websites instead of just like a marketing style page, because again, a lot of traffic sources, especially the big name ones, if you're trying to run on Facebook, if you're trying to run on Pinterest, if you're trying to run on any of the top native traffic sources, like Rev Content or any of those, you're going to get, or Taboola, Outbrain, those are two more popular ones. They're going to reject you if you don't have an actual website. If you just put up a single page, they'll just turn you away. So that's kind of why I did it.
And we got this tip from one of the biggest traffic sources in native, and they straight up told us they will not, they actually gave me a link to their terms of service, and they will not approve pages that are that don't have this style. And that was a huge problem, and we're all about solving your problems, because native ads is, you know, from our experience, a great traffic source for ClickBank. And ClickBank is one of the ClickBank, because native ads really doesn't have a lot. You can spend a lot of money on native ads, a huge amount of money, and typically what me and Brett have found is affiliates every couple of weeks they'll run a network test and find which native ad sources have added new placements. And then if you look at the data, you actually see that the majority of native ads platforms have like 4 or 5 major sites that they buy off of. And if you want to be a competitor and take down those big guys, use LanderBolt, because I can guarantee you either they have 5 developers making pages when you can just duplicate these and edit them on the fly, or they're using, how many plugins, Brett, are there for, if you Google search, Brett, how many plugins are there to make WordPress sites faster? Probably 1,000.
I don't even need to Google search that. I've worked with WordPress quite a bit, and that's one of the pain points, even for me as a developer. That's one of the pain points is when you install WordPress, you have to, for the next 3 hours after you install it, you have to go and set up all the different caching plugins and things to make your site faster and optimize it, and then themes and everything like that. But there's a lot of plugins out there, and especially for someone who just wants to get a page up quick and get their campaigns running, it certainly can be a pain to use WordPress.
All right, so if you do have, we have a question about subfolders. For example, putting a file in a subfolder, Brett, and then doing kind of the same thing. Ray Meeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let me
Ray Meeks also mentioned,
sure.
Brett, security. He said HTML pages cannot be hacked, Brett.
Correct, because there's no backend. Everything on
that's huge.
When you run like a WordPress site, you have what they would call a backend, or like you're running it on a server that runs on PHP if you're using WordPress, and that they can get into your server and your database and take your stuff and all that, whatever. With LanderBolt, we're only running lightweight pages. There's actually no backend per se that's hosting up the data. So yeah, that is true. It's technically more secure to just have HTML and JavaScript pages out there. That's what helps us load them faster too. It's all just static HTML, which I'm not going to get into the technical side too much of, but it is definitely an improvement on security. But I can show the subfolder thing. That's a great question, and it allows me to demonstrate in the file manager how to do that. So I'm in the file manager. I'm going to take that careers HTML. I'm actually going to delete it, and I'll put it into a subfolder. And actually, I'll put an index in a subfolder as well, just to show you. But so we have our file manager here, and you can create subfolders in the file manager. So if I click on this folder icon at the top, I'm going to just make the folder name careers. And now I have a subfolder of careers. I'm going to click on it. It's empty right now. That's why I see no files. And then I can do the upload again. And I can select that careers page. And I'll show you why this is both good and bad. So I can upload the careers page. I'll loop back to this in just a minute. You'll see. But so there's careers. I can go back. You'll see I have the careers folder, careers page. If I go to the page editor now, and I jump in here, when I click on my drop down, it'll actually just show you the layout of where that file is. So now instead of just saying careers.html, it puts it in that folder, careers/careers.html. Still allows me to edit the page. But for those of you who know anything about how landing pages are created, it wouldn't probably be named careers, it'd probably be index. So I just want to show that. I can go back to here, careers. I have the careers.html, and instead of uploading that one, I'm just going to upload the index. The index.html. I'll leave both of them in there just to show again the flexibility. So if I go to the page editor again, click this drop down, now I have careers/index.html and careers/careers.html. So both those files show up there. So in short, it shows all of the subfolder structure and everything.
It shows Ray, it shows the subfolders. That's incredible. So that we did actually, Brett, someone said that this would never work, but you got it to work. That is the best. And now it's working. It's not working. It's working spectacularly. This is what I've needed for myself. Anytime I want a website for something, and the ability to do this, where do you go to get these HTML pages? I mean, there's sites like Theme Forest where they have 10,000 HTML pages for a couple bucks, right, Brett? And you can just,
Yeah, definitely. You can edit those easily, actually. I've tested with a couple Theme Forest things in the past, and you can actually just, let's say you got a HTML template that you like, you can just go to the zip file uploader. When you download it from Theme Forest or wherever else you get it from, they'll just provide you with a zip file. You can just drag that zip file into here, into our page importer, and then from that moment on,
Brett, sorry to
all.
interrupt you. Everyone needs to go to their own legal counsel for this, but there actually is a trick I heard of that's for entertainment purposes, where you can preview an HTML page in Theme Forest and use something called a UPI to not have to pay for it. So,
right, yeah. So you can just go to like the demo page where they're showing you the demo of it, and then use the universal page importer to provide that URL.
No,
yeah.
But that's entertainment. That's entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, just showing the possibilities for sure. I mean, this feature right here is one that should allow you to do quite a few things you were previously unable to do. For instance, like with the subfolders. I mean, you can do subfolders of subfolders too, just so everyone knows. You can go deeper. So like I have that careers folder. I'm not limited to that. I can make another folder in here, like one. I don't care about the name right now, one. And inside of one, I can make another folder named two, and so on and so forth. And then I can put a file in here. I gotta test this actually just for fun. So I put health.html and I put it in careers 1, 2. So you can see the full path up there right there. But if I go to the page editor, again, when I click this drop down, I should be able to see that full path. So now careers /1/2, I see that one. I can click on that and it gives me that page. So you can definitely, do that quite easily. And all you have to do is make changes to it. So, careers, or this is what, health. I'm not gonna make a headline right now, but I can provide a headline and then just save the changes. And then once I've saved the changes, this file is now modified. Then I can switch to another one and do whatever I want with all these.
So, Brett, let me. We had another question from the audience, and this is something that I'd probably use this for. When we first were made aware of this new regulation, we had a demo. I sent emails to everyone, and I showed them that we will be able to make this work. And when I did that, I also showed them that the way you would actually use this as an affiliate is, correct me if I'm wrong, but the index page on your site, which won't show up, will actually be where that's where you are going to be sending your traffic if you're direct linking. Is that correct?
You can do it either way. With this particular template that I've made, I've kind of gone a more clever route, more of a route that I would do if I was advertising myself, if I was doing the media buying myself. The index is usually just the home page, which means if let's say someone clicked on this logo right here that says tech blog, if someone were to click on this, you would expect it to go to like the main homepage, which is this one that you're seeing on the screen, which kind of gives you a gateway into all the other pages on your site. So this has like recent news, and it's just a feed, right? So what I would do is I have 6 different feed items here. I would just change these to 6 different pages, like this one right here. Instead of top 10 phone applications, I would change it to like 27 gadgets you must see in 2020 or whatever. And then actually have the gadgets, health, relationships, and finance pages be where I send my traffic. The idea is that when I send traffic, when I buy ads, let's say I go to like Taboola, a native ads source, and I submit a campaign. When I submit the campaign, I submit straight to the page that I'm making the money on, which would be where the actual offers are, which is like the gadget page here that has the offers. But when Taboola, when their ad reviewers go in and look at your site, they're going to click through it, right? They're going to say, okay, does he have a homepage? Does he have a contact us page? Can we get more info about this site? Does it look like a real site? So you could send traffic directly to the index, right, to this page, but the conversion rate probably wouldn't be quite as high because you're kind of slamming them with a lot of things at once. And depending on the kind of ad that you make, it just depends on your ad creative, but depending on the kind of ad you make, it's probably not the best idea to send traffic straight to the home page. Probably a better idea to send it to one of the sub pages that actually have the listicle thing on it. But you can do it either way. To be honest, you could make it so that this is the index page, and then you have like another thing called like categories or something that shows this. I mean, there's a lot of ways to twist it, but with this particular template that I've added to our template library, I've kind of made it so the index is exactly that. It's just an index of the different posts you have on your site.
I just had a great question from the audience. Is it can you invent a way so some of these affiliate networks are giving out these listicles? Is there a way where you could just embed that into the, or just put that, rip it or something, or put that just into the actual, into the tech blog, into the content site?
Yeah, so that's on the way. I'm glad that's been asked because I've heard that one before. All this would require would be the ability to import a page using like the universal page importer, for instance. You would be able to like import whatever link some traffic source gave you or some network gave you, and then just be able to download those files, because you'd have to download the files to your computer, and then you would have to use the file manager to upload them to your other site, right? So I could come in here and I could like hit upload and upload those files into this. So there's a lot of ways to twist that. That's actually on the way, along with some other things that will make it a lot easier to do these kind of pages. For instance, coming soon, possibly before the week is out, actually, I should be able to make it so you can duplicate these files, because let's say I have gadgets.html and I want to add another category, like I created that careers one as an example. You'll notice that when I created that, I already had that file on my computer, right? I went to this upload thing and I did it. But an easier way for all you guys would be if you just could duplicate the pages. So if I had like gadgets.html, I'll have a button over here on the right that says duplicate, and it will just create a duplicate of this and allow you to rename it to whatever you want. So I could rename I could duplicate gadgets and rename it to careers, and then that would show up in this area, and I could then edit that new duplicated file. Because honestly, when you're building these pages, it's not like you're building each page from scratch. They're mostly just duplicates, so like you have gadgets, and I have a template that allows me to fill it up with my content, and then I have finance, and it's the same template, but I just fill it up with different content. So the ability to duplicate the pages allows you to have, you can make unlimited numbers of them. You could be like, gadgets and health and relationships and finance and careers, and I don't know, you can think of probably 20 more, and that will allow you to grow the site and keep adding pages to it. The bigger your site is, the better. It looks better that way, and then you have more more chances to make conversions as well. you never know. You could send traffic to this page for gadgets or finance or whatever. You could send traffic here, but let's say a visitor is scrolling around, they might actually click on one of these other things, like over here, or they might click on a thing at the top. So you want to really fill your site up with a lot of offers and things like that, so that you might even get conversions from people just browsing around your site and clicking on something you didn't expect them to. But so that's coming to the file manager, like some extra features for the file manager, like file renaming and duplicating. Those are on the way very soon. That'll help you guys to manage all this a lot better. So that's pretty much what I got there.
Okay.
Jordan, I don't know if you had any other questions. I'm not reading them right now. Do you have any other ones in there?
Yeah, let's go for the Q&A. Where can they place? So Ray said, if you wanted to go in and make the same template of your site, would you just need to rip the body of the HTML and insert it between the menu and the footer?
Yeah, you could, except an easier way would just be to copy the entire file. So what he's asking is, right now, without the duplicate feature, how would I make one of these pages? Like I have gadgets, but I want like something else, right? So I can actually just click on gadgets and it gives me the code editor over here. I would actually just select this entire thing. Like I just hit Control A or Command A on a Mac, Command A, and it selected everything. I would actually just copy this entire thing. And then this is why I want to add the duplicate feature for you guys. I would have to take all of this that I copied and paste it into a new file on my computer, and then just save that new file as the name that you want. So I would paste it and then save it as like, gadgets1.html or careers.html or whatever you want to name it. The question was, do I have to like find the body right here, and just copy the body, but not the header and all that? You don't have to do that. You can just take the entire page, because every single page on the site actually duplicates the header. So yeah, rather than pick through the HTML, you can just copy the whole thing. But I mean, hold your breath on that one, because I want to make it so you don't have to do all that technical stuff anyway. Soon enough, like I said, possibly by the time the week is out, I'll have that extra feature in here where you can just duplicate the file. You just hit duplicate and you'll just do it. That's not super difficult to do. So good question though. I mean, that's the kind of questions I love. Like when you guys hit me up with questions like that, tell me how you want to use the tool. Man, that's I say it every time, but we can't thank you enough. We need more of that.
All right, Brett, what about opt-in pages, like embedding an opt-in form? How can you do that?
Yeah, so this is the question that we get quite a bit. With the code editor, opt-in pages are possible. The best thing that you can do if you want to run an opt-in page, so if you want to collect emails on your website and you want to put them on an autoresponder list with like MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or Aweber, whatever tool you're using, the best way to do it is to go into that tool. So I would like log into MailChimp or wherever I'm doing my emailing, and they always have like a form generator. You can create like a form on their site. So you would go and you would create your form, like first name, last name, email, whatever you want to do, and they'll spit out some code. And then all you have to do is take that code, come into LanderBolt for your page, find the page you want to put it on, and just put it in the code. The only somewhat difficult part is finding where you want to put that form. So I would go to page editor and I would say, I want to put it, I'm actually going to go to the gadgets page. Let's say I want to put my form under this number 1 where it says like XY find it, right? I would just go to the code editor and paste it under where I find this. So it says XY find it. If I go to file manager, I'm in gadgets. Code is actually not that intimidating. If you look here, I mean, 17 insanely cool gadgets. Okay, that was the headline, so I need to keep going down. There we go. XY find it. It has like this block. All I would do is I would hit enter a few times, and I would just paste the MailChimp code here. So all you would do is you would like, okay, I wanted to put it under that XY find it headline, right? I just randomly chose that. I would come into the code editor, find that piece of text, go down to the next like blank line, and just paste it there. About 8 times out of 10, that'll work perfectly. The other 2 times, there might be some kind of formatting issue, but we can always help you out with that if you have that problem. But that's definitely the easiest way to do it. It's definitely possible. We have a couple customers who definitely do opt-ins, and they just use like MailChimp, I believe, or ActiveCampaign, generate the form, and then paste that form code that they give you into your landing page.
All right, Brett, brilliant. I don't like these to go over an hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, and then we're gonna do another webinar. We're gonna try to do one per week on the new features that we launch, and what I teased you with in the very beginning, I have a lot more I can go into. Brett, go ahead and log off. I know you had a late night. I appreciate you, and everyone thank Brett. I'll take it from here, okay?